Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Mari's Golden Hour. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, this week, I noticed has been a week of wellness, or at least that's what I've noticed. I don't know if that is definitely the case, if December or the first week of December is, all right, here we go. It's all about wellness this week, and that was just some proclamation that I missed at some point. And this has always been the case, but that's what I noticed on my end this week. Whether it's podcasting or it's somebody's video clip, programming, it's all catered towards wellness. And I don't know if that is just gearing up for the new year in advance. I don't know, but I took it in stride and checked out some really interesting things. I ended up watching some really cool videos, listened to great podcasts that were very helpful and informative and served as great reminders of just general self-care, being aware, and not just aware of the self, but aware of other people, which that's something I try to do on a regular basis. Some days are easier than others, but the attempt is made, and the effort is made as well. But I do have my low points, and I know when I am being that jerk who might be a little too impatient because they've been waiting in line for at least 20 minutes. So, and you're expecting it to maybe take 5 minutes or 2 minutes, but whatever. I know that about myself, and I try to do what I can to counteract that, but all right, now I'm going to start babbling and let me get back on track. What else? So Wellness Week was this first week of December, I guess. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to call it Wellness Week because that's what I experienced and that's what I tried to put into practice. It's also been, now I call this, well, it's been a difficult week as well, but I call a lot of the difficulties that one faces in life, I call them potholes. They are potholes of life, because sometimes you come across like tiny little potholes where your car just like divots and shrinks into the pothole just a little bit and you barely feel it, and there's others that are quite cavernous and you might get stuck in it, you might end up getting a flat tire, you can feel it and you're affected by it. So anyway, I had several potholes come up that were on the big side this week, and I had a lot of plumbing work that was being done to the point of extensive jackhammering, and basically my life was turned upside down throughout the whole entire week. And I thought, or at least I was told it was only going to be a few days, but it got extended. So, and then just other issues that arose out of that, and other things that just kind of hit at the same time. And it, I don't know, just with everything that was going on, there was a parade of people in my space, and it was never ending, and kind of stressful. And then even once I returned, things just weren't quite as they were when I left. And things that got overlooked, I don't know, things are still a little bit chaotic, and I'm still reeling and dealing with that. But that's been my week, at least with that. There's other stuff. Also during this week, this is just part of that having a difficult week, a friend of mine ended up passing on to the great beyond, and that happened either Saturday or Monday. I'm pretty sure it happened on Sunday, but they found out for sure on Monday, and so that had an effect and made me sad, and I'm already still kind of dealing with my grieving from this spring, which I know that I'll likely just deal with that until the day that I pass on and leave my immortal coil as well. But yeah, he really great guy, and really young too. I mean, not young, like 19, but still, he wasn't in his 90s or in the triple digits. He was far from that. And I don't know, it was sudden, so sudden that I remember sending him a note very recently and saw that he was traveling, he was happy, things were great and fine, and just happened suddenly. And I was affected by it that day, but because I had so many other things going on, I couldn't fully just immerse myself into that feeling. But it kind of hit me today. There was, I was out getting a couple of different items, and while looking for one thing, I saw another that caught my eye and just kind of gave me peace and solace. And it wasn't anything weird. It was just something nice and pretty. And I didn't get it, but went back out to my car because I wanted to do some price comparison because, hey, gotta pinch the pennies lately. So, and I was listening to an indie radio station at the time, and they happened to be playing a lot of Beatles music throughout the whole set. And I didn't pay much attention to it. It was just Beatles music in the background, and you can't really go wrong with Beatles. I really don't know of any or too many songs that they have produced that are bad or even mediocre. Well, no, maybe there are mediocre songs, but in general, yeah, they have really good tunes. They're well written, melody, all that. Anyway, I digress. So when I got to my car, the song that was playing when I was about ready to leave was My Life. And for whatever reason, it just hit me. I got hit hard with just a wave of, I don't know what, but I got all kinds of weepy. And then after that, it was, I don't know if this is the actual title. No One Told Me There'd Be Days Like These. I feel like there's a shorter title for that, but maybe I'm wrong. So that song played, which is not sad and sappy. It's, kind of bouncy and upbeat. And I don't associate it with much of anything, except I do recall the video. And I remember the video for it. I think it was a lot of like not found footage, but like home movies with John Lennon and his family, I believe. I'm almost positive. I think that's it. But it just went along with the music, and then Across the Universe, that was the next one that played, and I'd heard the song countless times, but for whatever reason, because certain chords were just sticking and they were struck, I don't know, I found myself just more maudlin, I'd say. I was weepy for My Life and got back to like a more even keel, even ground with No One Told Me There'd Be Days Like These. And then Across the Universe is more, just maudlin, actually. Or, that and reflective. Yeah. And I hadn't been hit with the emotion of music since actually Thursday, for Thanksgiving, when Aaron Bird, and if you haven't checked out KCRW, please do that. KCRW.com, you can listen to it wherever you are, no matter what part of the globe you're in. It has incredible music programming, and it's had consistent, really good music programming for years. But Aaron Bird ended up playing a Thanksgiving set for like 4 hours, and it was really, really, really good R&B, soul, a little bit of old school hip hop in there, but really good. And I was fine for, I'd say, the first couple hours, maybe even possibly 3 hours of the set. And then he started playing Danny Hathaway, followed by Luther, and then Denise Williams, and I just lost it. And I just was bawling. And, it was a sappy Thanksgiving for me. But anyway, being moved by music. Oh, I want to say congratulations to my friend Mayuko Fukino, who has a book that she collaborated with a few other authors. It is a #1 bestseller, and it's a #1 bestseller, I think, in several countries. And that book is called, wait a minute, hold on. Oh, it is called She is Magic, Always. And I believe there was another book in the series, but this is the latest one. But it's called She is Magic, Always, a magical collaboration of 27 women sharing their magic with the world. Please check it out. And yeah, just huge congrats. I love it when friends meet with success. And it is not about any envy or jealousy. Like, I genuinely am very happy for my friends when they find their success. And I feel like there's enough success for everybody. We just have to spread that wealth around a little bit. Let's see, what else? Well, speaking of magic, magic, I don't know if you've noticed it, and maybe it's just me, but I just feel like it's been out in the air. It's, like I said, it's been the week of wellness and self-care, and even though it's been a week of up and down stuff, I just noticed the magic in things. And it doesn't mean that it has to be like the woo-woo magic. It can be the magic of a flower just blooming and looking beautiful, or plants growing, trees doing their thing and providing shade. There's magic in that. Magic in a lot of stuff. Magic in people. Magic in the clouds. All of it. I've noticed that magic in a lot of coincidences, a lot of repeated numbers, which the whole repeated number thing, that's been going on consistently since, I don't know if it started like late spring. Yeah, I would say somewhere around maybe end of April, or definitely in May for sure. Just been seeing a lot of repeated numbers. So I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, and just some coincidences throughout the week. Well, one actually happened today. I was in a store, again, doing some comparison shopping, and I engaged in some banter, not of my own prompting, but I guess with the owner of the store and one of his cohorts, who I think is a manager at this store, just engaging in that repartee, and as one does. And the guy who's a manager said, "Oh, Prince." And I was like, "What?" I had no idea what he was talking about, but he was referring to some item that I was wearing, which was all purple. And I was like, "Oh," and I just totally forgot all about it. And then that led to other things. Anyway, I was in the store for, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes, and decided to check out another store. Got into the car, and I'd say within seconds, and again, I think I was listening to the same indie station, the DJ said, "And in the next block, we'll have a song by blah, and then by Prince." So, that was just my And so, anyway, went on about running some more errands, and then I went back to that store later on. I think it might have been like a few hours later, and ended up getting the things that I wanted at the store. But the guy that I talked to who mentioned the Prince thing, I went up to him and I said, when you met, and he said, and I didn't even have to say anything. I think I just said, and he said, "This is about Prince, isn't it?" I was like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" And he left. So I walked out of the store. I think he ended up leaving the store not long after I did. And he said that he was, I don't know if he was on a break or he went to a different room, but as soon as he got into the room, or whatever space he entered, as soon as he got there, they were playing Prince. So it was all this coincidental stuff going on with Prince. So I don't know. I don't know what it has to do with anything. I don't know if it's about Prince. I don't know if it's about connecting with the people there, being in that store, or just affirmation that I was supposed to be where I was at that time. I don't know, but there you go. Just magic being in here. Also this week, I watched Lifetime. I did a lot of Lifetime TV watching this week. I don't normally get a chance to do that because I don't have a television, and I tend to either just stream movies or stream shows. But as far as like regular TV watching, I don't do. I feel like if I did have cable, I would watch way too much TV. And in a way, it's as evidenced by my watching Lifetime all week. And now the reason why I kept it on Lifetime, I did a little, my initial channel surfing just to find out, all right, well, what stations do I have? What's available? And it was also kind of like my check-in to see what is out there. And a lot of it is less than stellar. There's some interesting things, but then it's like, oh, okay, that's going on. Oh, yep, that's still happening too. Oh, yeah, all right, yep, this is why I don't have cable. So, but Lifetime, they were showing Christmas movies 24/7. It was just a bonanza of Christmas, and I was loving it. And I know a lot of that stuff is cheesy, but in a way, Lifetime, well, I feel like there are 3 different stations. There's Lifetime, there's Up, and there's Hallmark, as far as like the cheesy, like holiday or the seasonal, romantic, whatever description you want to give these movies, predictable. They, yeah, but as far as, sorry, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, so with Hallmark, well, all of them, they have their certain formula, but I feel like as far as the storyline, plot, and inclusiveness, Up and Lifetime tend to be the better option of the 3. Hallmark, I do appreciate a decent Hallmark movie, but, you know, let's face it, it is rather homogenous. So, watching the Lifetime channel, now, what I noticed, and I don't know if this has been going on, because last I checked in watching things on cable, you know, there was a predictability as far as casting is concerned, and storylines are concerned, etc. But watching Lifetime this week, I don't know if it's just Lifetime, if it is the advertising that is being displayed on Lifetime in between the movies, or if it's the advertising, like, okay, basically here's what I noticed, is that there's a wide range in characters that are being portrayed, and it ranges in height, in size, even sexual preference, race, religious backgrounds, just everything you can think of, it has that range. It is very inclusive, it's very diverse, and like I said, I noticed this with the Lifetime programming for the movies, and I don't know if these were new movies, old movies, combination of that, not too sure. But also with the commercials that were being showcased, even the commercials were very diverse, and you saw different pairings, like there's a lot of interracial relationships, and even the programming that they planned on showing, like over the weekend, that I knew I was going to miss, like the subject matter, all of it, it just runs the gamut, and it actually, for once, like really portrays real characters, like real life, the stuff that all of us live through and go through all the time. And yeah, because these are Christmas movies 24/7, obviously there is going to be a huge suspension of disbelief, but, some more than others. Still, I thought that was really cool. So, I don't know if this inclusion and diversification, if it's just Lifetime, and even with the commercials, is it, are those the commercials that Lifetime is pulling, or those specific advertisers, are they doing that and making sure that they are advertised on Lifetime? Is everybody doing this, like as far as commercials and the various cable outlets? I don't know. I didn't really do too much channel surfing beyond the first night. So, although when I did see a repeat of a holiday movie, I did do a little bit of searching that way, or that time. And there was a movie that I caught that Will Smith is in, along with some other people. What was it called? Collateral Beauty. And I vaguely recall the title, but I didn't see it from the beginning. I think I caught it, I don't know if it's in the midway mark or towards the beginning, not too sure. But it seemed like it had kind of an interesting premise. I don't want to ruin anything for anybody in case somebody has not seen this. I don't think it's a new movie, maybe new-ish. But it seemed like it needed something more to really take it, like, to this great, it's like you have such great potential, and it is right there. If you just did this tiny little tweak, it would be great. But even as the movie stands, I still enjoyed it for what it was, and I stayed with it. I was curious to find out, all right, where's this going? What's going to happen? And I wasn't severely let down. It was still a decent movie to watch, and a great study in acting. And I don't know. I can't really talk about this one too much without giving anything away. But check it out. It's called Collateral Beauty. Along with the whole Lifetime thing. So, one of the movies, and I don't recall the name. I think it's one of the Maori sisters. I never pronounce her last name right. Tia and Tamara Maori. Yeah. One of them, and I don't know which one was in this particular movie. I saw like the tail end of this, and basically at the point where I caught it, I guess she owns a vintage clothing store. I don't know if it's like all things vintage or it's just clothing, but clothing is what was talked about and what was being, I guess, sold at that time and purchased at the time that I ended up catching the movie. So anyway, Tia or Tamara, anyway, the lead character, she was talking with, I can never remember her name, but it's the woman who I believe was in Home Improvement that played the mom. She was ringing her up, and she suggested, you should get this dress for the Christmas ball, or, whatever it is. And it's like this, like a chiffon wrap. I don't know if it's like a two-piece, if it's a full dress, if it's a two-piece, but it basically just wraps around the shoulders, and it's great material, and it's pretty color. And so the woman from Home Improvement, she said, "Oh, sure, yes, that looks great. I'll get it." And so the Maori sister said, "Oh yeah, great choice, awesome." But they were discussing, I don't know, some love interest and what was going on, and so they were talking. There was this banter back and forth. I kind of tuned it out because I was busy doing other things. But then I happened to look up and I see that she rang up the dress and she pretty much balled it up and put it in the bag. And honestly, the the costumey person inside of me was like, what are you doing to this fabric? Do you realize how much that wrinkles? And couldn't you have just cut a little hole at the top of a plastic, or at the bottom of a plastic bag, and just draped it over it so it doesn't wrinkle. But she just took this, it's like she kind of sort of folded it and then like rolled it up and put it in the bag. And it just, I don't know, the way that she did that, I was just horrified. And maybe nobody else noticed it, but I did. And it just, I couldn't let it go. I was like, it was hard for me to watch the rest of the movie because I was still horrified by how she treated this material. Just, anyway. Yeah, I'm that person. Anything else? Well, I don't know if this is necessarily magical or not, but I found like black cats crossing my path during the week. It happened more than once. And the first time it happened, I was kind of like dancing in the street a little bit, and unbeknownst to me, it happened to turn when I saw like something just out of the corner of my eye, and it was this black cat that was kind of like checking me out. It was like, oh, all right, going about your business, and it kept on going. So I don't know. I don't know if that's bad luck or not. I had another black cat. Actually, this happened today. It just raced out while I was driving. Just raced out from one side of the street and across the other. Luckily, the traffic was kind of light-ish in the opposite direction, and luckily I saw it in time. But it just raced out. So that I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's lucky, unlucky. I don't look at it as a bad thing, but actually I find black cats kind of pretty. But I don't know. Weigh in whether you think it's good luck or bad luck to have a black cat cross your path. What else? My last random thought was, and this happened early this morning. I don't know why it popped in my head, but it did. Romper Room. And it wasn't just Romper Room, but it was like the theme song to it. Like, it was going through my head. And I don't know if I'm allowed to sing it or not. I don't know if there's licensing things involved, but it's like Romperdy Domperdy Romper Room. And that particular part is what stuck in my head. The Romperdy Domperdy. That, I couldn't get out of my head, and I don't know why. I don't know why it popped into my consciousness at all whatsoever. But is that still on the air? Is Romper Room, is that still a thing? Is Romper Room, is that like a regional show? Is that something that's national? Because there are some things that, I feel like, oh, everybody knows this, but maybe it is something that only played in certain parts of the country. But Romper Room, I thought, was universal and nationwide, if not global. So yeah, is Romper Room still a thing? Is that around? Weigh in. Let me know. And that pretty much concludes this golden hour. And thank you. I really do appreciate you letting me just go on and on and on. And I know some of you tune in, some of you don't. Maybe you catch up a few snippets of things. I appreciate whatever time you give to listen to me ramble on and on and on and just go on at length about nothing, and yet some things. I thought about ending this with a joke that my brother told me, but I cannot remember certain aspects of it, so I'm not going to butcher it. I'm going to refer back to him and see if he'll allow me to share this with you guys, and if he does, then I will do my due diligence and try to learn the setup and the punchline properly. So until then, please enjoy your week. Give yourself a hug. Give a tree a hug. Talk to your plants. Tell your plants, and even tell that tree, tell them that you love them. Say thank you so much for providing the air, providing shade, just growing and being, because the plants, they do respond to that. They really do. And they respond so well to that positive affirmation. Plants do it, people do it, and we need to do more of that for each other, to each other, any and every time that we can. Because time, it is fleeting, and it waits for no one, and never know what can happen from second to second. So let people know that you appreciate them. Let things know that you appreciate them. Like I said, give yourself a hug, give others a hug if you can. Give your tree a hug, your plant, your stuffed animal, your whoopee, your animals, what have you, because hugs are awesome. And I'm babbling yet again. Anyway, thank you so much. Enjoy your golden hour, and I will see you on the next time. Bye.